What's up everyone? In this episode we're gonna learn how to implement the health bar and the life count. Let's go! So in this episode we're gonna learn how to implement the health bar and the life count. They both serve the same purpose, but they have different implementations in a lot of games. Some of the games they have a percentage based, like let's say a lot of FPS games or something. They have this 100% life, and then depending on the weapon or the way you get shot or anything else, you lose a percentage of that, like a 20%, 23, 58, etc. And the second one is life count, which is also common in a lot of old school games where you have 3 lives, and then whenever you make a mistake you lose 1 life. We're gonna do both. First of all, I'm gonna create a separate script for both of them, and you can integrate it in a separate script or you can put it in the same of the player control script. It's all up to you. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to create 2 scripts, call it health bar, and I don't want this actually. Yep. And the second one, let's say life count. Okay, namings, it's all up to you, but I just made these names so we can differentiate between both of them. And also we're gonna make it usable, and by usable I mean we're gonna touch something which is basically the enemy and we're gonna lose a health. So first of all, let's create the UI for the health bar. Let's go to the UI. I don't think I have a UI. Okay, let's create a UI, create a canvas. Let's call it UI. I'll make it part of the camera because I like this approach. It actually shows you the thing in here instead of having it be done outside. But you have to take layering into consideration if you're working with a lot of layers. But this one is not going to affect it, so we're going to be fine. I'm going to make this distance 1 because the distance between here and these stuff are, I think, 5 or 10 environment. Wait, the grid is, they're at 0 while the camera is at -10, so we're good. So I put this stuff at 1, which is going to be 1 unit away from the camera, so it should be fine. Next thing is I'm going to make the scale to screen. So because I like it to be 16:9, which means we gotta get a ratio of 16:9, 1/7, right? In order to get 1/7, this one is not gonna cut it. It's gonna get 133. You're gonna have to make it 800 divided by 450. Again, this is all personalized. You can have it as much as you want. So we're gonna go with this. Let's create health bar. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna make it anchored on the top left. This is a hint. If you keep clicking Alt, left Alt or right Alt, doesn't matter, and then you click on one of these, it actually takes the shape and the direction of the whole thing. So I want to be on the top left. So plus I need to make the pivot 0 and 1. This means the pivot, like this whole part, the whole pivot is gonna shift. This is 0 0. 1 0 1 1 0 1. So I'm gonna make it both 0 1, so it's gonna be on top left. So what that means is if I zero everything out, it's gonna be at the top left, you see, whereas if I keep this 5 5, it's gonna be actually in the middle. So I'm gonna make this 0 1 and we're good. The health bar, it doesn't need that much, so let's have this as 250, I guess, and then this will be 50. I think that's enough. Let's implement, what's it called? Have an image. I'm going to call it background. We need to fill it. Keep clicking Alt and fill the whole thing. And because I don't want this background to be shaped, snapped like this, so let's have it this one actually. We can use either of those that I had downloaded from the previous ones, but I'm going to use this one because this one is more you know, more, you know, stretched. This one actually is a lot. Let me make it 25. I think that looks good enough. If we go to the game, yeah, we can see it. So one thing I want to do is I want to push this slightly over, but not that much. So I'm going to give it 5, minus 5. So let's give it minus 10, I guess. No, minus 5 is fine. So this is good enough. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make fill. To be honest, there's an easier way for this. If you right click in here, we can have something called slider. This one comes with a built-in. I think that would be much simpler. This one is not that bad. Like you can get this and have this white thing implemented. Let's check this out. And if I make this fully like this, and I push it slightly inwards inside so it shows that it's not part of the whole thing, and make this go green. If we make it filled, we go not radial, we go horizontal, and that's it. Boop, 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 boop. So we have a filling health bar. You can see how it looks in here. So again, the better to have our own like a proper, what is it called, proper UI for the whole thing. Otherwise it's fine. And I'm gonna delete the slider. Let's go with this one. Why I said we need to use this kind of a thing with a background, because it gives it more of a like a feel, right? Like there's something in the back. But let me see what happens with this. So if I refill it, no, sliced, filled. Yeah, never mind. Let's bring back to how it was. So we're using these both. Again, using using proper UI will make it much better. So I'm going to keep this simple instead of slice, so it will stay the same as the fill. Because whenever we make it this filled, it goes back to the simple way of. See, now it's better. Okay, we're good. So we have this filled up fully. Let's save it. Let's make another object. We'll call it live count, and we anchor to the top right. It doesn't need that much. So while we're here, we're gonna go not 0 0. We're gonna go with 1 1 1 1, and we're good. Let's have it. Let's see. I think 50 is enough. 150. We're gonna go with 3 hits. You know what I mean? Like you get 3 life counts, and at the same time you get, whenever you get hit, you lose. Actually, no. Let's go with 4. You can lose 25%, 25, 25, 25. So that should be good. So we're gonna make this 40 and then do this much. So next thing we need to insert a live count icon. So I don't know if there's a 1 in here built in, but there's this one in here. So we can use this one. It's just dark. I'll use this one white, which is good. So first of all, I'm gonna call this live. I'm gonna get 4 of them, okay? Live 2, live 3, live 4. Fastest way to actually align them in a vertical horizontal way is to get this thing called layout group. So we're gonna go horizontal layout group. Nope, not this one. This one. So what it does, it puts them all together. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make them middle center, and then we're gonna play with these values to make it fit properly. So we make this, the scaling, we actually force the child to actually rescale according to the whole size. We can see some of the images, they get scaled and then stretched. So to fix this, we can grab all of them, preserve aspect ratio. Let's make the color red, because that's not that red. Let's make it reddish. Yep, that's good. So we have 4 counts of live count and the full health bar, okay? Let's save this stuff. And let's get the health bar and life count and drag and drop it into the Fox player. So we have them in here. Let's start with the life count. First of all, we need to import the UI, okay? So in here, we've got in that life count, we've got basically these 4 elements. And in here, we got one main element, which is the filling bar. What we need to do, we need to go public image, let's say lives, that's it. And we're gonna make a public also call integer lives remaining. And as simple as this is, whenever we start the game, we're gonna show them. Or actually, never mind, it's gonna be shown by default. We're gonna make a public method which gonna decrease the number of lives that we have. So we're gonna go lose life, okay? So when we lose life, we need to actually decrease the value of lives remaining. Can I write English, please? Okay. And hide one of the live images. And then we're gonna check if we run out of lives, we lose the game. So losing the game, it's all up to you. You can decide whatever you want to do. You can show a pop-up, you can actually reset the game, it's all up to you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reset the game. We're gonna see how this works. So first of all, we're gonna go in here called lives remaining minus minus. What this means, it just decreases this one by 1. Okay. How do we delete these things? It's quite simple. Let's say we have 4 lives, right? Like right now. At the same time, we got 4 images. Like 0, 1, 2, 3. Because we start the array with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We lose a life. This becomes 3 lives. And they should become 3 images, okay? And because we sorted them out, you know, this is first, second, third, fourth. What we're gonna do, we're gonna delete the first one. Or wait, should we delete the last one? I think we delete the first one. We delete the first life, and then second life, and then third, and then fourth. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna delete the first one. So it's all up to us how do we arrange them in the array. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep deleting from the end, like the last one, and then this, and then this, and then this. So we're gonna go like this: 0, 1, 2, 3. But 3 will become false, you know, like hidden. Then with 2 lives, it will become 2 images. By 2 images, I mean visible images. 1, 2, 3. Go like this. This is going to be hidden. This is going to be hidden. And we're going to have 2 lives remaining. And then if we go 1 live actually. Let's speak English. 1 image. 0, 1, 2, 3. And when we reach 0 lives, 0 images, we're going to have all of them hidden. So that's when we lose. Easy. Very easy. How to do this is we have to use this number as the whole, you know, as an index. Right now, if we have 4 lives and we decreased it to 3, we're going to hide the last one, which is also 3. So we're going to go with lives. I'm going to use this number. Let's set active. No. Game object. Let's set active. False. You know what? It doesn't have to be like this. Just go enabled equals false. That's it. That's simple as that. So because it's an image, so we can just hide it. And whenever, so 3, we touch this one, hide it. And then when we become 2, we take this one, we hide it 1, etc. So we have this sorted out. What we're going to do here, if lives remaining equals 0, debug.log, you lost. Okay. So right now we don't have a mechanic of losing life, but we're gonna create something that does this whole thing for testing reasons. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to click here, go down to the life count, make 4 stuff in here, and basically as we decided is this life is gonna be at the end, second, third, and fourth. You must be confused about the naming, but again, if it makes it easier, just make it 4, 3, 2, 1. This way it will be way much simpler to deal with, because we're going to be deleting the fourth, third, second, and the first, as seen in here. Okay, see? We're going to delete them from down up. Let's keep this live 4. Okay? And for the testing reasons, let's go in here, go update, if input that get key down, let's go keycode dot return. Okay, so as soon as we click return, which is space, which is enter, we're gonna lose a life. So that works. If everything is good, we're gonna be able to have a life count. That's not the proper window. Okay, so right now, oh, from our previous episode we forgot to bring back the fox. Okay, so we see this on the top right. So if I click enter, we lost a life. Enter, we lost a life. Enter, we lost a life. So one of the problems that I can see is the sorting. So we should make it middle right, if I'm not mistaken, because what's it doing? It's actually aligning everything according to the whole thing, to the whole child alignment. So I don't want it to be in the middle center. I want it to be middle right. Let's just see if it works actually in here. So if we hide this, it's fine. I think one other thing can be done in here. If we force this and then we hide this image, I think it's fine, because what's happening in here is that it has to force fill the whole thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it like this. I think that's fine. So we're going to have to disable the force child expand. We don't want it to expand, maybe vertically but not horizontally, because when you click this, it expands to the whole area. So let's make this disabled. And as soon as we lose a life, again, if you want to make paddings, you can add paddings in here, so you can have multiple stuff in here. So right now it's fine. Let's go and test it. If you click spacebar, okay, we have a problem in here. It's overlaying over something. So if we go enter, lost, and then you lost. That's it. Again, we should do something about it. We should avoid this happening. So what we're going to do is if life remaining equals 0, we return. If no lives remaining, do nothing. Okay, I can notice there's something in here. Huh. Wait, is it because this tile map is set to... Oh, okay, so what I need to make sure of is we've got our grid in here that has tile maps, and each tile map has a layer, right? Like -1, 0, and 1. Whereas our UI is 1 also, is 0. So we have to make sure, for the sake of having this better, let's make it 10. So we have a lot of space in here. So if we bring this right, we can see it's not actually going inside anymore. Next thing is the live bar, the health bar, sorry. So let's go in the health bar script and we do almost the same stuff. Not totally, but similar. So we delete this stuff in here and we got ourselves public. I'm gonna go with image. Let's go with live. I'm gonna go with UI. let's go with fill bar, that's better. And we go public, and then we should write, this should be more of a float, but I'm gonna go with integer life, or let's say with health. Health, let's just call it health, it's better. And the first thing we need to do is just gonna go public void lose health. Okay, what do we call it there? Lose life, that's correct. So in here what's gonna happen is you can decide the amount of health you lose. It all depends on your game. Like you can put something in here called integer health, like let's say value. Okay, and then what's gonna happen is you're gonna let's go reduce the health, apply or refresh the UI fill bar, and then check if your health is 0 or less equals dead. Okay, simple as it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click health minus equals value. So what this means we're gonna delete value from this and assign it to health. It's the equivalent of health equals health minus value. That's it. Next thing we need to do is we need to actually get a perfect percentage of how much the health represents. So if we go back in here, we can see that the fill value is the value of 0 to 1. Okay, so it goes from 0 to 1. So we need to actually convert that value to match this one. So right now if we have, let's say if we got 100% health, that means we're gonna have one fill amount, which means we need to divide the health into 100. Okay, that's cool. So if we have, let's say 45 health, that means the value will be 0.45. Okay, which means almost the middle. So simple as this, what we're going to do is we're going to go fill bar that fill amount equals health divided by 100. That's it. And we're going to check if health less or equals 0, debug that log, you died. Okay, But before we actually have to make sure that we don't decrease health if we're out of health. So if health is less or equals 0, return. Do nothing if you are out of health. That's it. So to do actually the testing, we're going to implement the same thing in here. Okay. Actually, we're going to call this lose health, and we're going to go with 25. Okay, because it's also like equivalent of 4 times. We're going to keep this on also, so we can test both of them. And we go back in here. The only thing we need to do is we need to grab this fill and put it in the image here. So we're going to grab this, put it here, and make sure the health is 100. So what we have right now is if I click enter, we're going to lose health in both mechanics. Okay, I think I've done something wrong in here. Oh, I know why. It's because the health is, it's an integer. An integer does not accept what's called like values, like decimal values. So let's try again. Click enter. See, we got lost 4, like 1 quarter, 1 quarter, 1 quarter. We're still good. So if I lose 1 quarter, so we lost and we died. So like it's the same boat. If I click enter, nothing happens. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that this is deleted, or you know what, I'm just gonna comment this out, because this is not how the health bar should be implemented in the game. You can implement this as much as you know as you like. What we're gonna do in the next episode, we're gonna integrate this with the enemy. As soon as we touch the enemy, we lose health. For here, we've got ourselves a life bar, or actually it's the opposite, it's a health bar and a life count, which can be used to count down your lives or how you play the game. And then the next thing will be is we're gonna make sure that whenever we touch the enemy, we're gonna lose these stuff, but this will happen in the next episode. And I hope you liked this episode. If you did, hit the like and subscribe button. Also hit the small bell to get the latest updates. Also join our Discord channel. If you got any more questions or any inquiries, put it in the comments below. Don't hesitate. I'm available for any comments. Other than this, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.